So this is our second episode of Three-Way Theater.
Well,
can we talk about this awesome movie that we just watched?
Grunt, the wrestling movie.
Oh my god.
Grunt, exclamation point.
The wrestling
movie.
And that deserves an exclamation point. That's 100% necessary.
Sure does.
Question about that.
Runs, hits a drop kick, hits him in the body, and off comes the head.
His head pops off.
Straight clean off his body.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't go into high. Well, okay.
He did. He left.
Spoiler alert.
This whole podcast is a spoiler alert, okay?
No.
We tell this in chronological order.
Let's...
Captain Carnage, Dr. Tweed, The Mask, Miss Linda, and Adrian Street. Cut?
No, it was John Bonet. That's just from the grave.
All right, so that's definitely, that sounds like TLC to me. Not TLC, the Lifetime channel.
I love this movie.
This movie is way better than Body Slam.
Way better than Body Slam.
Fuck Body Slam. Fuck you, Dirk Benedict.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, M. Harry Smilac.
Fuck you, you piece of shit, Smilac motherfucker.
Fucking quick,
Right.
Rick. Fucking
Right.
shit.
Captain Lou, I hope you fucking die.
Wait,
I feel pretty good.
I'm good.
I'm sweating a lot.
You
but
are very sweaty
I
right
need
now.
to eat something. I'm having a diabetic attack.
great.
Oh, okay.
We need to go.
We did not. Thanks, everybody.
I'm Mike Pava,
I'm Lumberjake.
I'm JC.
and you've been listening to
Three-Way Theater. All right, we got it out of our system?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Get it all out. Give it a nice push, Lumberjake. That was pretty good, though. All right.
Welcome to the Three-Way Theater.
TWT.
Three-Way Theater.
TWT.
TWT.
That's what we're calling it.
That's right. That's what the kids are calling it these days.
We're going to abbreviate the Three-Way Theater.
Yeah.
So this is our second episode of Three-Way Theater.
Yes.
My name is Mike Pava.
I'm JC.
And I'm Lumberjake.
I'd like to thank you all for listening on hoobazoo.com.
On the booth.
On
the booth on hoobazoo.com.
That's right. We love the booth.
And on SoundCloud.
And on YouTube.
And on Twitter.
We're all over the place.
We're everywhere. Mikey, when can you listen to us on Hoobazoo?
You can listen to us every Sunday night at 11 p.m.
I thought it was 10.
No,
It's 11.
It's 11.
It's 11?
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock
Oh.
every Sunday.
PM.
Yes.
PM at night.
In the AM.
No.
Is
no,
it AD or BC?
at night.
But is it before Christ?
That's
or is it...
AM. At night.
Listen, guys, we're getting way off track here.
Well,
Can we talk about this awesome movie that we just watched?
Grunt, the wrestling movie.
oh my god.
Grunt, exclamation point.
The wrestling
movie.
And that deserves an exclamation point. That's 100% necessary.
Sure does.
Where
do we start?
I mean, I guess we should start at the beginning.
Oh,
Well, the beginning, you can't top the beginning.
Well, to the year of our Lord, 1979, the grudge match of the century.
For the record, the movie takes place. It was filmed in 1985.
85,
Correct.
Yes.
But
It
they
was
start
released.
with the flashback to 1979 with the big grudge match.
6 years prior.
Which I mentioned to you before we started recording, Mikey, and really it feels like when I first saw the trailer for this movie, and I was talking to other people about it. This felt like a movie from the 70s. This felt like something that might have been recorded in like 76, 77. Like, so when I saw that it was actually 1985, I was shocked. It feels like a gritty movie from the 70s.
But in a good way.
Oh, in a great way.
That opening montage where it's a wrestling match between Mad Dog Joe DiCurso and Skull Crusher Johnson, I believe his name was.
I'll tell you in a second. Skull Crusher Johnson, that's right.
Played by Victor Rivera.
Oh my god. So I guess we should just start from the top. So we're in this grudge match. It's, again, to help with that gritty atmosphere. It's shot in black and white. So many different cameras are going off.
Strobe lights going off all over the place.
Yeah, epilepsy alert.
Yes.
If you have
Do
seizures,
not.
watch out.
Here on the Epileptic Podcast, here on Hoobazoo.com.
Yes.
Get into it.
We're just here to warn you.
So they start with the montage.
You start, with
The flashback, excuse
The
me.
flashback. They start with the flashback of this match.
Yep.
This grudge match. In Mad Dog's corner is it Lola?
That's Lola in his corner there.
The love of his life.
But it's not entirely clear to me whether they are a good guy or a bad guy, because he seems like a good guy at the beginning.
Which is a common theme throughout this
There's
film.
a problem for this entire movie.
Yeah.
They cannot decide on if someone's loved or hated. It's kind of on a whim. Which I guess that's kind of a commentary on wrestling.
Yeah.
Maybe they're being a little smarter than we're giving them credit for.
Very deep.
Well, so Skull Crusher Johnson is the heavyweight champion of the world.
Yes.
Accompanied by his manager, JJJ.
JJJ,
Yes.
the legendary JJJ.
Legendary JJJ. And it's a pretty intense match. Even if we don't have a clearly defined fan favorite or heel or bad guy, like, there's definitely, like, it's an intense match.
It gets crazy.
Fans get knocked over.
Shit gets real.
It gets real in a couple moments down the road. But the match itself, for what it is, some of the spots, some of the match, I'm going to tell you right now, we didn't really talk about what, our last episode with Body Slam, we all had our issues with that movie, the misgivings with that movie. One thing, right from Jump Street, right from the beginning of this podcast, right watching this movie, I want to say that the wrestling in this movie was great.
Phenomenal.
It was fantastic, some of the spots they were doing.
Like, for 1985, this is revolutionary.
Like, Body Slam had Roddy Piper.
Body Slam.
Fact.
It had Roddy Piper. It had Tama. It had Barbarian. It had Tijo Khan. Who, I'm not. What can I say about them? But with legends like Roddy Piper, how can these no-name people be so much better?
They weren't all no-name people. I mean,
No.
You have Guerrero in there.
It was the wrestling choreographer.
Yes,
which
Mondo
actually
Guerrero.
should pretty much explain why the wrestling is
Was
so far
so good.
superior
Exactly.
in this movie. And again, maybe just to kind of put this into context, the movie was released in November of 1985. So WrestleMania had already happened. This means it was filmed probably pre-WrestleMania even. But even in this movie, there are a lot of undertones of talking about rock and wrestling. And everything else. But so this movie was filmed well over a year before Body Slam. But it really just carves its own niche. And again, I just really want to stress how great all the matches are in this movie. And
Except for the women's match.
well, naturally.
That was. I'm going to say this now. Charlie Haynes, who was in the women's match later in the movie, is actually really good.
Hey, give Divas a chance.
It is the Diva Revolution in 1985.
Yes.
And by the way, Mondo Guerrero actually trained all the women from Glow. He was the the head trainer of Glow. So
The slot machine.
The gorgeous lady of wrestling.
He was the head trainer of Glow. So
he got them in this movie.
Yeah, basically.
So again, the action is fast. It's furious. It's everything I could want from a wrestling movie. Black and white's really adding to the atmosphere, and then it happens.
Oh, it happens.
While Mad Dog Joe DiCurso is hung up in the ropes in a way I've never seen in a match.
Well, no,
ever.
he's not hung up in the ropes. Skull Crusher Johnson.
No, he's hung up in the ropes.
What do you mean in a way you? Oh, okay.
He's kind of hung up between the
wibbly
top and middle.
He's laying like in
between.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Yes.
And then Skull Crusher Johnson
charges at him.
Takes a charging
3
flying
times.
leap.
No. This is before that.
Oh, before that?
This is how he gets into the hangman.
Okay, all right.
He takes the flying leap and puts himself in the hangman, much like Mick Foley when he lost his ear.
Yeah, a la Cactus Jack.
Or Samu in the 1994 Royal Rumble.
Or Fatu in every match he had from 1995 until 2000.
Just shout out to my boy Oos.
Oh.
But the hangman, he puts him in there, and Mad Dog drops a knee on him. And he drops that first knee, drops the second knee, and then he starts hitting the ropes.
And this is when he hits the ropes 3 times.
Back.
Boom. Forth. Back. Forth. And he runs and he drop kicks him in the body.
All that momentum.
All the momentum he built up. Although he was running back and forth, and then he had to run a separate direction. So wouldn't he be losing all that momentum?
Maybe, but
in theory,
movie logic.
But him hitting the ropes back and forth, that's actually making the hangman tighter.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
That's
Good point.
That's adding the stress on there. So he knew what he was doing.
Yeah. Maybe by hitting the ropes 3 times was actually softening him up for what is to come.
Or maybe
Seconds
tightening
later.
the ropes a little bit tighter.
All right.
And then he runs.
Okay. Say what's going to happen because I have a question about that.
Runs, hits a drop kick, hits him in the body, and off comes the head.
His head pops off.
Straight clean off his body.
Mm-hmm.
He is literally decapitated in the
We're
ring.
2 minutes into this movie.
And we have a decapitation in the ring.
So you brought up a great point, Jake, and I wanna ask both of you your true thoughts of this, especially after watching this movie. We watched it together. This is the first time we kind of did that.
Well, we watched it together, and we also had some other people watching with us as well.
We had a full audience.
We really
Spectators
did.
started just showing up and sitting down with us watching
And
this movie.
I think it's a credit to this movie where instead of just getting up and leaving and watching this, what you would think would be an awful wrestling movie, to being sucked in and stayed till the end credits as we sang the song, the titular theme, which we'll get to later.
But so let me posit this question to you guys. So you're saying that he was running back and forth, he was tightening the ropes. Do you think Mad Dog had the intentions of decapitating Skull Crusher Johnson?
No.
Because I will say that the way this match is framed, that Mad Dog is the bad guy. He is a grizzled, hardened man. He's the Mad Dog.
But the thing is, he was wrestling fairly clean, minus one raking of the eyes on the ropes.
Okay.
And while Skull Crusher Johnson was being blatantly cheating.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think he had intentions of decapitation.
And here's my reason why. The way he did it, the guy was hung up in the ropes. He hit the ropes back and forth and hit the drop kick. That makes me speculate that he's done it before. That's something he's done. And nobody's been decapitated before, or else it would have been a way bigger deal.
Do you think there's been a lot of other decapitations in wrestling before this?
Well, no.
In the movie.
No, because in the trailer, it's like the biggest thing ever that this happened.
However, afterwards, that's all any wrestler can talk about is decapitating someone in the ring.
Right.
That they're obsessed with decapitating someone.
Do you think there's been decapitations after this incident?
Well, other than that one Russian video,
Which was...
We don't know what's going on behind the Iron Curtain.
It was fake.
that was definitely a faked video. You could see the strings.
Yeah.
But that was a reenactment.
No, that was the Russians trying to recreate.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I think that was a commentary on the
Yes.
on the Cold War.
So, Skull Crusher's dead, but let's talk about the immediate aftermath, the press conference.
Oh, man.
The promoters.
And this
No, it wasn't a press conference yet. He just he got chased down by reporters.
right, this is where I fell in love with this movie.
There's a lot of favorite moments in this movie. This might be my favorite part of the movie.
Where the reporters ask, can a man that's been decapitated be the heavyweight champion?
Everything about it I love. Can a man who loses his head be the heavyweight champion? The Howard Cosell announcer, this is terrible.
Yeah, it was like the Hindenburg crash.
Yes.
Oh, the humanity.
Exactly.
I love the talking heads. Well, not the literal talking heads.
Yeah, he wasn't talking
They
afterwards.
lost his head, but the different cut-ins from fans getting their reactions.
Yeah. Can we reenact that? What do you think of what happened?
I wanted a head in my beer, not a head in my lap.
That was the referee's reaction.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit! It's
And also shocked.
horrified.
Well, the other ones, I don't remember all
No,
of
it
them.
was just shocked.
Horrified.
They said,
shocked.
They said three of them, and they went back and forth between the
Shocked
two.
and horrified were the only two.
And then 6 months later, horrified.
Shocked.
Horrified.
Shocked.
Between 4 different people.
So
With the straightest faces ever, too.
Oh, yeah.
Not looking like they're shocked at all.
except for
Which is
Adrian
what I
Street.
love about this movie.
No, that is again to the credit of this movie, where they're playing it completely straight, because this is a documentary. This movie is being filmed as a mockumentary, but the way that they are establishing it and the way they are playing it, there are tons of jokes in this movie. But they treat wrestling, they treat the decapitation
Dead serious.
which it makes it amazing.
It's so good.
One of my favorite lines is the I guess promoter or whatever of the heavyweight title says, when asked, are you going to, can a man who's been decapitated be the champion? He goes, well, I don't want to set a precedent.
Right, I wrote that down too. Everything about this, it just.
And then he says, it's been a real long day.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
So
And,
we're now shown the aftermath of this. We're shown the different people talking about the incident. We're shown that Mad Dog has been acquitted of all charges.
Also, Skull Crusher's manager JJJ responds with, he should not be stripped of the title. He's come back from worse.
Yes, that's right.
He's come back from worse than decapitation.
Yep.
The judge, the lawyers have been able to argue that this was an accident. Honestly, I think Steve Avery should get the lawyer of Mad Dog DeCurso.
I would totally agree with that.
Why would Mad Dog go into hiding?
He didn't go into hide. Well, okay.
He did. He left.
Spoiler alert.
This whole podcast is a spoiler alert. Okay?
No.
We tell this in chronological order.
Let's not jump a fucking hour and a half into
Listen,
this and
we-
spoil the
Hey,
best part of this goddamn
Mad
movie.
Dog Joe DeCurso jumped off a bridge.
Mad Joe was acquitted of all charges, but the guilt was too much for him.
Because
and
he was out of work and out of worth.
And he jumped...
All right. All right.
and he jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge. Or was it the Brooklyn Bridge?
Either or.
A bridge.
To his supposed death.
To his alleged death. Apparently, they never bothered to look for a body. Nobody's been to the morgue. We are taking it at face value.
They actually say that in the movie too.
Yes. They never went to the morgue.
Never went to the morgue.
Cut to black, though. 6 years later.
6
years
years.
later.
6 long years later.
For the record, from 1979 to 1985 is a world's difference.
A world's difference.
Right.
That's why it was black and white, and now it's in color.
Exactly. It's a commentary on race relations.
Somebody that we were sitting with, it might have been your sister, I'm not sure, said that it should be 6 months later. But they've gone ahead and gone 6 years
Years into the future.
I wrote that. I'm like, so this movie's in the future. But no, because it's a documentary, we were actually looking at the past.
So now we're in modern day.
Modern day,
1985.
1985. A huge press conference has been called to discuss the status of the heavyweight championship.
Because it's just come to their attention that in 6 years he has not defended his title.
Right.
He's held the title for 6 years and he's been dead.
Yep.
And he said
longest reign
so
in GWF history or GWA history.
Some would argue Bob Backlund was dead for most of his title reign too.
Yeah, if his title reign was any longer, he would be the Bay State champion.
Wow. Inside baseball.
Shots fired!
Nobody knows anything that you're saying.
No.
right
Or
now.
everybody knows.
All right.
But when questioned, wasn't he buried with the belt? The
Uh,
promoter hems and haws and says, "I'll get back to you on that."
We'll get back to you on that one.
Cut to filmmaker Leslie Uggams.
Not
Not
the
that Leslie Uggams.
Leslie Uggams.
Who's Leslie Uggams?
I don't know, you tell us.
I have no idea who Leslie Uggams is.
That's the joke.
But Leslie Uggams, apparently, I looked her up. She
Yeah,
was
so you know who Leslie Uggams is. Why don't you tell everybody?
she played Blind Al in Deadpool. I've never seen Deadpool.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
We're here on the superhero podcast here on Hoopazoo.com.
I'm a super zero.
So Leslie Uggams,
He believes that Mad Dog Joe DeCurso, in reality, is now a new upstart wrestler.
No. This is the documentary guy.
this is Leslie Uggams.
No, the documentary guy is just
He is positing the fact at the beginning of this. He's basically the one that just showed us the grudge match. He has showed us the press conference where we quickly mention the heavyweight title that has been held for 6 years now has been held up because of no title
Vacated.
defenses. And there will be a battle royale elimination match held in Los Angeles
the new champion.
to determine the new world champion.
Right.
Which has brought out everybody out of the woodwork wanting to be champion. One of those people being The Mask, which is now we are brought to Leslie Uggams, who has basically he's shown us all this footage because he has been a pro wrestling fan since he was a kid.
Yep.
So Joe Curso.
But wait, I love this bit. So he's been a wrestling fan since he was a kid when he walked in on his mom and dad wrestling.
Yes.
And that's how
And
you
he's
know.
been fascinated ever since.
And that's how you know this is going to be a great movie because again, it's filmed in mockumentary style. So you got the boom mic hanging in frame.
Yeah.
Like
The sound guy also hanging in frame.
Yep.
Like-
standing there.
so he's basically framed this entire thing for us. And he is basically stating his opinion that The Mask holds many similarities to Mad Dog Joe DeCurso.
No, Joe Curso.
He has.
Joe.
He's questioning it, but the guy who really goes headlong into it is the fan club president,
But
Dr. Tweet.
for the record, the weird part about it is The Mask is a big fan favorite.
Right, they do. Leslie makes it. No.
Hero to children, kisser of puppies.
Yes.
has
Kiss of
made
dogs.
fans all across the country. Each country he's jumped to. Boom. He's a giant superstar, fan favorite. He's found a beautiful French bride over there on his journeys.
Yep.
Like, so we are basically told by Leslie Uggams that he is a giant fan favorite.
Yep. And he's coming here to the United States for the first time.
And then cut to the head of the fan club.
Oh, no. Then cut to Wrestling Tonight.
Oh,
man.
Wrestling Tonight.
I had my doubts that we were gonna find a song much like Kick's American Way.
Oh, this was even better.
And
Nothing I could have hoped for.
I was pleasantly surprised and pleasantly wrong.
I was ecstatic to find out what we found out.
Oh man, we gotta wait for that.
Yeah, no, we're gonna. But like,
Emma,
so
should-
this is another huge difference between Body Slam and this movie is that Body Slam is barely a movie. We bitched and complained about the fact that there was absolutely no payoff to anything that happened.
Yeah.
Loose ends weren't tied.
Now,
Because of Body Slam 2, which was going to
right, that we're
happen.
making.
Yeah.
That we're actually going to be producing.
Patent pending.
But Grunt ! The wrestling movie is absolutely a movie. Even though it's filmed as a documentary, they do this big prologue, they do an introduction, they frame everything around this battle royal.
Do you think Grunt the wrestling movie is Grunt the wrestling movie, or is it the wrestling movie?
Oh, I kind of like that.
Like a stage production.
The wrestling movie.
Which is why I thought the exclamation point was curious, because...
Well, it should have been a question mark if it was curious.
Yeah, would it be...
Grunt?
Would it be...
The wrestling movie?
I guess it's Grunt!
It could have been a period.
Grunt! The
Grunt.
wrestling movie.
The wrestling movie.
No, it's Grunt! It's yelling at you.
I like the wrestling movie. I kind of like that, too. So, I just like how everything is built. There is a complete 3-act structure. There is this big frame of what we can expect and what we're building to, and then it cuts to this beautiful song that we didn't find out until afterwards was sung by Sha Na
Sha Na Na.
What?
I can't even...
Man.
In 1985, and it has a music video where Sha Na Na is singing
When the
along.
credits started rolling and that popped up...
We all... Wrestling Tonight.
Do you think right now is the time I should...
I think you should, yeah. You know what? Let's not wait for it.
All
Give
right.
it to us, Jake. Give us the lyrics. Give us the first verse.
Okay.
The wrestling movie.
Quiet, please.
Right on set?
Captain Carnage, Dr. Tweed, The Mask, Miss Linda in Adrian Street, The Human Bomb Shelter, Jake the Snake, Ask Mad Dog DeCurso if it's real or fake, Golden Greek Tolis, The Giant Goon, Take on El Toro and the Grunt Brothers 2. The Wild Samoans got something crazy going. They're gonna be going after you. Wrestling tonight. Everything is bigger than life. Wrestling tonight.
Yes.
Rock and roll and wrestling tonight.
So there we have the other reference of rock and roll and wrestling actually in the song.
Yeah, and they mentioned body slams. This song would have been just as good for body slams.
Here's what else they mentioned. Jake the Snake, who's not in the movie.
Or the Wild Samoans.
who are in body slam.
And Classy Freddie Blassie.
Who's in body slam.
Now there is a...
And Burt Reynolds.
Now
Who's
there is
it?
a...
Wait.
Jeez.
In Cannonball Run. And
Smokey and the Bandit.
and Smokey and the Bandit 2.
The Journey Home.
Yeah, I completely lost track.
No, these guys, they're naming, look, so they mentioned Dick Murdoch.
Right.
Who's then also a Grunt
One of
brother
the Grunt
that we'll
brothers.
meet later on.
And possibly one of the other Grunt brothers may or may not be the destroyer Dick Byers.
There also may or may not be a second and third lyric to this verse.
No,
to this
you
entire...
made that up in your head.
No. I mean, there was still at least 3 minutes left of this song.
All right, there
that
we
was
go.
just
Yes.
the first verse. We gotta delve
We're
deeper.
going to play this for you. Don't worry.
We'll close the
So-
show with Wrestling Tonight.
Well,
Yes.
while Jake was doing an amazing rendition of Wrestling Tonight, I just wanted to point out, because I was just gushing over the way this movie was actually a movie and actually had a structure. The director was Alan Holzman.
V. Allen Halsman?
V. Alan Holzman. He used to do stand-up comedy in the Berkshires.
Oh,
No, that was
wow.
Alan Shempman.
Oh, yeah, of course.
No,
Of
but
course.
okay, so I just gotta say that
He was
this,
he was Snape in Harry Potter.
that was Alan Rickman.
Oh my right.
Right. Yes.
My bad.
That's right. You're the one that knows nothing about
Yeah,
movies.
that's my stuff.
So, Alan Holzman has done absolutely nothing. He did the 1985 movie Out of Control. In Grunt, he did 85. Some of his other movies, he did a nice TV movie in 1991, The Intimate Stranger.
Oh.
He is actually a documentary filmmaker.
Sounds-
he did The Survivors of the Holocaust.
Intimate Stranger sounds like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, right.
Probably, I'm gonna say, without hyperbole, was
Cut.
no, it was John Bonet, Messages from the Grave.
Oh,
All right, so that's
wow.
definitely, that sounds like TLC to me. Not TLC, the
They don't want
Lifetime
no
channel.
scrubs.
John Bonet.
Hey, he has won 2 Emmys.
No disrespect to John.
Jumping A. Or the Ramsey family.
Or the Ramsey family.
Did you know that John Ramsey remarried to the mother of Natalie Holloway?
Wait, what?
Is that true?
John Ramsey married Natalie Holloway's mom.
Natalie Holloway was the girl who disappeared,
Jordan Vandersloot.
and then how does that happen?
I don't know.
Were they had like a grief thing together? Like, how did they meet up?
Isn't that crazy?
Welcome to the Conspiracy Podcast here on Hoobazoo.com. We'll be diving head into this.
I'd love to do a conspiracy podcast.
Well, we can do it. Keith Hayes, make it happen, Sinister One.
Hoobazoo.
Can I just plug my favorite murder for that?
No, please, I want you to plug your favorite murder. Yeah.
For that My Favorite Murder podcast for that fact.
Oh, there we go. Drop in right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a documentary filmmaker. Amazing guy. Love you, Al. You're a good man.
No peg.
You miss me, Al?
With every shot so far.
Him.
Ham.
We're going crazy.
We are way off the mark. So let's dive into Leslie Uggams meeting Dr. Tweed.
Dr. Tweed, the president of a fan club, not just any fan club, the fan club Mad Dog Joe DeCurso is the Mask fan club.
Yes. Very specific fan club.
Specific fan club.
And he needs to get back to the top of the fan club world.
And his fan club consists of himself and apparently one other guy
Who doesn't work for him anymore.
and doesn't know anything.
Nope.
And so Dr. Tweed, not a doctor, not a cab driver apparently, but
drives
a
taxi.
cab. Yeah. He's a cab driver in the literal sense that he drives a taxi cab car, but he does not pick people up and
Right.
deliver them.
Again, I feel like Dr. Tweed unfortunately represents the common misconception with wrestling fans.
Do you think he's supposed to be like a smart fan?
Yes.
He's a smart fan that thinks he knows everything.
I'd like to point out to you that I am the president of the Mad Dog. Joe DeCurso is the Mask. And I gotta say that out of all 132 matches that he's had in this time, he's without a doubt one of the best wrestlers ever.
I'll say this. I've never seen the movie, but Dr. Tweed apparently was in The Princess Diaries.
I'm big Princess Diaries fan, people.
Are you just being serious?
Yeah.
All right, so break it down for us.
Who was Dr.
Was he?
Tweed in The Princess Diaries?
I didn't know he was. I'm going to run home right now, rewatch the Princess Diaries on
But we have
Blu-ray
a
DVD
podcast
that I
to
have.
finish. No, we have a
No,
podcast.
it's fine. You guys got it from
Yeah,
here.
but no.
No.
You guys take it from here.
It's the
I'm gonna go
three-way
your
theater.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work with just two of us.
You guys, really?
I don't think it has the same quite the same impact.
Okay, I'll stay.
All right.
But just to know that I am gonna go home after we're done recording this podcast, rewatch the Princess Diaries and Princess Diaries 2 because you can't just watch one.
So to be continued.
To be continued.
TBC.
Follow up on Dr.
follow up.
Tweed.
Yes.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Okay, stay tuned for more.
They have a scene shot inside the wrestling.
Yeah, during we kind of got the setup. We got a lot of different clips of the wrestlers and the different characters that are going to be in this movie.
One of my favorite bits is they have the Savage character, like a rip-off Kamala, if you will, and he yells something like, "How can I be a savage without a headdress? How can I be a savage without a shrunken head?" He's just bitching and complaining, and that's exactly what wrestlers do too. So.
Well, I love the relationship of Leslie Uggams and Dr. Tweed because it's really our heart of our movie, and it really helps give us the backstory on Mad Dog Joe DeCurso and kind of showing about his family origin because we learn about the cockfighting that would eventually lead to Joe DeCurso Dad's death.
Yeah, he was a cockfighter when they moved to America from Italy. But apparently, DeCurso's dad was feeding his chickens amphetamines.
And again, a lot of parables here, a lot of parallels between cockfighting
and wrestling. And I've seen a lot of wrestlers on amphetamines too.
Fact.
So
we just get
the mafia kills Joe DeCurso's father, and they kill him. Joe DeCurso, what's he to do? No father. other than become a mad dog, apparently.
So the documentary format allows us to jump kind of back and forth between things. It lets us find out about the origin stories of Mad Dog Joe, about his father's untimely death due to the cockfighting ring and the underground
Cockfighting ring? Is that a different kind of cock ring?
That's what I just call the ring that I wear.
Cockwing?
Cockwing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually the head cockfighter.
Oh, cockwing duck.
Yeah. Let's
you
get dangerous.
When in trouble, call CW.
So Leslie kind of he's our bridge here. He brings us through everybody. We meet Dr. Tweed. We get reintroduced to Lola at Lola's
the wrestling
gym.
school with her students, Killer Tomato and eggs.
Which I gotta again, so many props to the writers of this movie because the names in this movie are amazing.
Every single wrestling name. But some of them are their real names. I believe it was like Debbie the Killer Tomato was that woman's wrestling name.
Didn't we say that it wasn't eggs? It just sounded like eggs.
It may have been Ace. I prefer it to be
Ace.
eggs.
I want it to be eggs. Believe me.
But the only reason I think it's eggs is because tomato and eggs, like ketchup and eggs, I can deal with that. Scrambled eggs.
I don't know if that's what they were going for.
I feel like they were going for eggs.
And Lola unceremoniously runs out of her wrestling school in the middle of training and peels off in her car.
And then they follow up the very next morning by going to her house.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No boundaries in this movie.
They brought her flowers.
Knock on the door. Hold on 1 second.
No, she says come in, and they just barge in.
The door is not locked. They walk right in, and they walk right up the stairs to a frying pan in the fucking face.
Double frying pan. You know, I gotta say, very dangerous for a single woman living alone to just yell, come in.
Well, she was prepared.
She's got a frying pan
Yeah.
always ready, waiting for her by the top of the stairs in the event it's an intruder, rapist, whatever.
So, shouldn't eggs have the frying pan?
You know what they say, out of the fire?
Into the frying pan. No, that's not what they say. Scratch that.
No,
Reverse it.
That's not what they say? Oh, Killer Tomato.
Oh, that Killer Tomato.
So we get to
Taz really loves her.
So we also again get to get reintroduced to JJJ.
JJJ, yep.
Where again, each introduction, each reintroduction gives us a little more of a peel of the onion, a little more of the backstory, a little more.
Was the Onion another one of the trainees there?
He was in there. He was uncredited.
Okay.
But the Onion was there, and we learn more about just the history of Mad Dog, while Leslie is convinced that Mad Dog and the Mask are one and the same.
Because they wrestled very similarly.
They look very similarly.
Not really.
Muscular frame.
So when we're reintroduced to JJJ, he's
In a wheelchair?
in a wheelchair and has aged
At least 40 years.
in 6 years.
Conservatively,
Roughly.
he's aged 40 years.
He is now an old man in a wheelchair.
Who needs help getting into the ring. Another reason why I just love this movie.
Yeah, and he's, oh, you're one of those Hollywood phonies. And this guy can't stop swearing.
That's the best thing.
Yep.
So again, it's a conscious choice on the part of the filmmakers or Leslie himself to bleep out every word basically coming out of his mouth.
We must have skipped something because he definitely...
I'm not skipping. I don't want to skip the bulk of what's happening here.
Oh, we did.
No, but
we
no,
skipped.
no.
We got the Grunt brothers and stuff.
I know.
Listen,
I'm not
listen,
skipping.
We don't have to go through everything piece by piece here. We're
but
already at 40 minutes.
I understand, which is why again I was just
tighten
trying.
it up.
Okay,
Yes.
let's tighten it up. There was a set of tits we're skipping over.
I'm not jumping over the Grunt brothers. I just need. I'm just using the documentary's point of view of talking about these little bullet points and getting reintroduced characters that we met in the Grudge match in 1979 that they're using as a real kind of basing point to say this is why the Mask could be Mad Dog Joe. Mm-hmm. And then our first true meeting of Mad Joe, or the Mask rather, is at a GWA or event here in Hackensack, New Jersey, where we're introduced to who I thought might have been our heroes of this movie, the Grunt brothers.
Played by Dick Murdoch and a man named Richard Byers on IMDb could possibly be the destroyer Dick Byers. Who's to say? Because he looked just like an old, crazy-haired man.
Absolutely.
Now, do you think the Grunt brothers were named after this movie?
No,
no.
Why not?
Why would they be? Why would it be Grunt the movie and they're the Grunt brothers? Shouldn't they have
So
a
I
bigger
don't-
part in this movie?
Here's my thing. I don't think they had a name for this movie. I think they were just filming and they were rolling and we were just naming awesome characters like Killer Tomato and Eggs, and they had the Grunt brothers.
I like to think the writer, the producer's like, so what's the name of this movie? And the writer went, the wrestling movie?
I don't know, wrestling movie.
Yeah, Grunt the wrestling movie, alright.
So we have this amazing promo by Jim Brewer interviewing the Grunt brothers. Incredible sound bites. We'll drop it in a little bit here, and then we meet the Mask with his manager Lana.
It was a woman with a terrible accent who couldn't quite decide on what it was. Very similar to Matt Hardy.
And to Lana.
And
Yeah, you know what? I do like. It's definitely some Matt Hardy.
just kind of goes in and out of various.
I'd like to think that while Matt Hardy was working on his new character in TNA, he stopped and watched Grunt the wrestling movie to get some ideas.
Absolutely, I'd agree with that. And so, which leads to a fight between the Mask.
What a fight!
Someone, I believe Dick Murdoch, grabs
It's
that
definitely Dick
woman
Murdoch.
by the throat
Yep.
and tosses her across the room, and then they double suplex the Mask on the ground.
Oh, it's
And
so great.
his feet, if they don't hit, they come so close to beating that woman in the face. Make sure to get that all spliced in there correctly.
Oh, definitely.
Oh my god, it's
So
great.
we then cut from the fight to the match. Hackensack, New Jersey, one of the greatest cities for wrestling ever. Arguably.
The wrestling hub.
Wrestling hub. Well, I mean, yeah. Hackensack.
Hackensack, definitely.
And we see this match.
Hacky-sack.
It's 2-on-1 for some reason.
For some reason.
Doesn't make a whole lot of difference, though.
No.
The Mask dispatches of both of them.
Very easily.
The Grunt
Yeah.
brothers were speaking.
Both
The Grunt brothers are
Yep.
taken out easily after a timely distraction by a beautiful pair of tits.
She flashes her tits.
was not expecting.
Nobody saw that
tits.
coming.
No one thought that it would be into episode 2 of the three-way theater that we'd get our first set of tits.
I did not notice it was rated R until
Was it rated R?
it was rated R.
All right.
So,
Well, you know,
What was Body Slam rated?
probably PG.
PG-13?
it was rated fun for all ages.
Because PG-13 didn't
G?
exist until Jaws.
No, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
That's what I said. Indiana Jones and the Jaws of Doom.
Kalima.
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 Shapene.
Oh,
So, the Mask dispatches of them fairly easily.
yep.
They go to see the old man. The old man has a trainee there named Chicken Ear.
Chicken Ear. Again, the names are just amazing in this movie. They're such great names. And, I mean, let's not even talking about the names Tommy Warhead or Commie Warhead.
Commie Warhead, which we
Commie
thought...
Tommy
no,
Warhead?
it can't be Commie Warhead. It must be Tommy Warhead. And then it was Commie Warhead.
I'd
When
like
we
to think
first
his
found-
nickname was Commie. His
Commie
real name was
Tommy
Tommy.
Warhead.
Yeah.
At first, when you said Tommy Warhead, someone said "Tell me Warhead," not Tommy, and I'm like, "Oh, that's funny." And then they said I thought they said Tommy, but it was Commie, and I was confused by the whole.
It's Commie Warhead.
It is Commie Warhead.
Who ended up bleeding in this event in this movie for some reason.
So again, we kind of we're meeting people. We get reintroduced to JJJ. We learn some awesome wrestling names from some of the trainees, and basically the question is just asked over and over again by Uggams every time: is the Mask Mad Joe? And at this point, guys, what do you think? Did you guys have your thoughts one way or the other on whether Mad Dog was actually the Mask?
Well, they definitely went out of their way to make you believe that the Mask was
But
Mad Dog.
although everyone they asked that knew Mad Dog said no.
Right, exactly.
Lola
But
said no, and his partner Tony Atlas said no.
I knew there was going to be a swerve at the end, so I didn't want to really... But I knew they were really putting it in there and putting it in your head that...
Well, yeah, they said it so many times. They said
Mad Dog.
without a doubt, he is
The
Mad.
mannerisms, the moves that they do, are the same.
The tattoo removal.
Right.
Yeah,
The
one has
scars.
tattoos and the other one has scars where the tattoos would have been.
Right.
Like,
They both do the John Tolis punch.
right. I mean, there are so many things. So I know, Mikey, you thought that there was going to be some kind of swerve.
Yeah.
Jake, your brother
And there
had
was, kind of, but
There was.
we all had our theories at this point.
and Jake's brother had probably the best theory that I was really kind of holding out hope for. Basically, that Skull Crusher Johnson's head was reattached to a different body,
Right.
and was basically reanimated as the mask.
Because if they can take off an entire arm for the removal of the tattoo...
They did bring that up.
Yes.
So they would unmask.
And it would be
and it
Skull
would be
Crusher
Johnson.
Skull Crusher Johnson.
What a
who-
great idea that
Right.
is there any proof that that didn't happen?
Well, no. I think at the end we kind of
Because, well, I mean, how would you know? Because Skull Crusher
Also, he
Johnson
was wearing a mask.
was wearing a mask.
okay, maybe that's true, but I think they've kind of
Because he was having all these flashbacks.
well, no, I thought that was Mad Dog.
That was
having
Mad
the-
Dog.
Yeah, that was Mad Dog having the flashbacks of, like, I thought that was almost like a.
Well, that's because
I've
at
been
one
here
point
before.
I
Right,
felt
that's a good
that
point, too.
there was a chance that. Okay, again,
We're jumping.
It's
getting
okay.
to the main
It's
event.
okay.
But I
It's
don't want to
all right.
get right to the main event.
We don't, you know, it's
I
fine.
want to get to El Toro.
All right, talk about it.
El Toro, played by Mondo Guerrero, who's the fight choreographer. He was great.
So
We get to see Mask in action wrestling El Toro. We get to see the shenanigans from the French Lana character.
And at this point, the entire crowd is for El Toro.
They
Yes.
love El Toro, but again, they still keep on presenting the Mask as a giant fan
Because in
favorite.
the next scene, he drives up in a vehicle and people are having saying, I love...
Well,
mask.
Well, after he beat the Grunt brothers, he used a chain, and they said, "I think looks like the mask is turning to a bad guy."
Mm-hmm.
There is that question that the announcer asks, which again, I guess makes it question ourselves,
Right.
whether how great this mask is.
Yes,
And we meet El Toro, who everybody loves El Toro.
everybody. I love El Toro comes out wearing his mask and his horns, and then immediately unmasks.
Yep.
And it's Mondo Guerrero, who's just fantastic.
And he kicks ass.
Amazing. He kicks ass. So much great. Again, the choreography, the wrestling is amazing. And we see the true depths that the mask is willing to take to win. I believe the female announcer kind of really says it best. I believe it was Deborah McMichael. As, you know.
Steve.
Oh, the girl who's only been watching wrestling for 6 months?
Yes.
Yeah.
She goes, in the 6 months that I've been watching wrestling, I have never, ever seen anything quite like this.
And then she asks the age-old question: what came first, rock and roll or wrestling? Think about it.
It was wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which Leslie Uggams immediately pointed out also. Wrestling.
But basically, she is just horrified that the rope, that the steps have been thrown into the ring, which we thought were cardboard steps.
Until you see the big gash on the back.
Don't call her that, Jake.
No. I mean the open wound. That's
Yeah, don't call her that.
That's very rude.
Oh, you're saying the injury on the back of El Toro.
Yeah.
That's the gash you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh.
It looks like there was a trim in his back.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, so we see the wound, the injury on the back of El Toro, and the mask just takes right advantage of it, just attacking him, but he's getting himself disqualified.
Yes.
So again, we're seeing the depths that this man is willing
Including
to take.
Sofia Vergara is very sad. Oh, El Toro.
Oh, El Toro.
Oh, that's 2 podcasts in a row we get to do our Spanish accents.
Well, we've been working so hard on them. So we're basically on the road to this battle royal. Leslie and Dr. Tweed, they're trying to determine what's going on, and they're watching video footage. They got video footage from Lola.
Lola, yes, she finally relinquishes. She says she hasn't seen Mad Dog in 6 years. He hasn't been back. He hasn't gotten his stuff. She still has all of his clothes, all of his tapes.
Because one would think he's dead, but again, no one's been to the morgue.
Yeah, right? Nobody's checked.
My favorite part about the unraveling of Dr. Tweed and Mad Dog, and they're basically going crazy trying to make this movie, making this documentary, trying to find out the truth. They keep on replaying footage over and over again. I said, and it's, again, a lot of JFK.
Yes.
Mask
Well, I feel
into
like
the left. Mask
into the left.
I feel like he obviously has his own agenda where he wants Mad Dog to be the mask, and he doesn't want the truth.
So it's
That's
very
what he wants.
It's very making a murderer.
Because
Second Steve Avery reference to the podcast.
All right.
Nailed it.
All right. I'm jumping ahead.
I don't want to jump ahead too much because literally the best part of the movie, Exotic Adrian's Street.
Well,
Exotic Adrian's Street.
So we segue through back and forth. We're using Leslie here, and they're going crazy, and they have to get some answers. So they know they're going to get answers by going on Wally George.
Yes.
Yeah, Wally George, I believe.
And
making his film debut, Wally George.
Playing himself. I had no idea this guy was a real guy.
Yeah, he seems like a ripoff of a Morton Downey Jr.
Okay.
Like,
he's in the hot seat. You're in the hot seat.
Yeah,
and they bring on Captain Carnage?
Captain
Carnage. No, they bring out...
that's
they bring out a
Exotic
DJ.
Adrian's Street.
They bring out the DJ first.
You're right. They bring in the
George.
man who we all believed was Judge Reinhold.
Yes, it was not Judge Reinhold.
He was trying to, again, we're getting to the bottom, putting it in the hot seat, and they just throw him
just fucking chucked him out, threw him out of the building.
And so they bring in Dr. Tweed next.
Who immediately
presents him with a certificate.
Wally immediately questions, what kind of doctor are you?
Which... Good point, Wally George.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Because he's been driving it around in a fucking taxi for this movie. I didn't know if he was a taxi driver. I didn't know what this man did for a living.
He was not a taxi driver.
And so,
his answer was sociology.
Sociology, and then presented him with a fan club
certificate, I guess, for Lord knows what. I don't know.
For the certificate for the fan club.
Yes.
Where he is a part of the Mad Dog DeCurso is the Mask fan club.
Or the Mask is Joe DeCurso, either or.
Either one is acceptable.
Finkel is Einhorn, Einhorn is Finkel.
Actually, Jake, I'm gonna stop you there because those are actually rival fan clubs.
Oh, okay. My mistake.
Yeah.
They're really duking it out for it.
They are going
That's why he needs to be back at the top.
They're the ones based in England.
They're in a huge membership drive, and really, Dr. Tweed thought he had Wally George, and they just ripped it up.
Just tore it up right in front of him. Really dick move. But
maybe Wally George is going to get the answers, and he brings the Mask in here for this interview. The Mask sits there. The accusations are flown.
Yep.
And
he gets in the Mask's face.
Gets right up in his face.
I thought he was going to get knocked the fuck out.
Me too, but not fucking Wally George.
No.
Not on his own show.
And the security comes in. Security's trying to rip him away. And just, it's chaos.
Oh, by the way, can we just say, the Mask has not only his valet, but also a dog with a mask on.
My favorite thing in the whole movie.
A dog with a mask on, a little poodle with a mask.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It was amazing.
So
after Wally George, we
then get...
It was the human pyramid match.
Well, we get to Fresno. We get to Fresno where somehow Leslie Uggams has gotten into the car of the Mask and his fluty French mistress. Mm-hmm. And basically Leslie just needs to know, and he asks him point blank, are you Mad Dog Joe? And he gets knocked the fuck out.
Yep. Punched in the goddamn face. Or in the back of the head, was it?
Him hitting the car.
The dashboard.
And then they pull up to the arena
for the big match.
With him still over in the passenger seat.
In this old make car.
Oh, I love the old time. It was beautiful, beautiful L.A. Fresno car, and it's Mad Dog, who we think is wrestling against one man, but he's actually wrestling against.
He's wrestling the Human Pyramid,
which is 4 men,
4 midgets in a giant jacket.
Were they wearing a jacket?
Yes, they were.
There was no jacket.
Yes, they were.
They started up
there
with
was
the one.
A jacket.
Was there a jacket?
They did, and when they opened it, they did a cut where it was like a drop down, drop down, drop down. But they
because we didn't know how many midgets there were.
Right.
But they weren't really all stacked up either.
And
so
then,
they had to do a bad cut where it was stacked.
Oh, I must have missed that because that sounds amazing.
It was amazing.
But then they give them these voices, these sped up, high pitched voices.
If we slow them down, we'll know what their real voices were.
They sounded like minions to me.
They really were the minions, and that's going to be a very antiquated reference when someone ever listens to this in a couple of years.
Well, I just like that we're talking like this, and we're talking really fast, and we're going like this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Cherry because it's gonna come here and grab it, but let's get it.
See, I'm going to make a more relevant reference. They sound like Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Oh, very, very timely reference.
How is that more relevant?
That is it's timeless. But upon the embarrassment of getting his ass whipped by the Human Pyramid, all 4 of those midgets kicked his ass.
And he fires. He walks out. No, he didn't even fire at this point. He just left the arena mid-match. Walked out of the match, got into his beautiful car, and drove the fuck out of there.
No manager, no dog.
All the fans are still outside. Why aren't they in the building watching the match?
It was a sellout. They were all just standing outside.
Wow. That's what The Mask does. He sells out. Okay. And again, The Mask is being called this huge fan favorite. He showed up on Wally George giving out his 8x10s, but he's doing some real dick moves. And now he's left his wife behind, his manager. Okay, I assume they were married for her to stay in this country.
Left her for the Golden Greek John Tolis.
Which we find out by being introduced on
Exotic Adrian Street. The Exotic Adrian Street.
Now, this is funny because, Jake, you and I have watched that segment before, but we had no clue what it was from.
Yeah, I never knew it was from this movie. We've watched that dozens of times.
And my favorite part is when Adrian Street boops John Tolos in the nose with the microphone. So good.
I also love his line, Adrian Street says, "I'm dangerous. I could kill a man. Eventually." It was great. And the whole segment, just absolutely classic. Look it up on YouTube. Amazing.
It's great. And I love how Exotic Adrian Street is just Adrian Street.
Just the whole time.
He's not Captain Lou Morano.
No.
He's just Adrian Street.
He's all he can be, just like Captain Lou.
And now we are brought to Los Angeles. We are brought to the big weekend festivities because we get another amazing bunch of talking heads drop-ins of all the different reactions from people all over the place as the wrestlers start to show up. We get the big speech from the press conference from the mayor, who's welcoming all the great wrestlers to his city. He was going to offer them keys to the city, but instead
he gave them glass snowflakes.
Like plastic snow globes.
Snow globes.
Like the very small ones. They aren't even good snow globes.
And they're in LA, right?
Yeah, they're in LA.
Yes!
Why would there be a snow globe in LA?
That's what's great about it.
Like, I was going to give you a key to the city, but instead here are a bunch of snow globes.
That guy, he reminds me of either Clarence Mason or possibly Jackie Childs from Seinfeld.
Yes.
Very much so.
Which they may have based their characters off of Grunt.
I don't think there's a question about that.
So I love the drop-ins. I love the different characters talking. The people on the street. I love the sports massage.
The sports massage guy, talking about the injuries in wrestling. I've seen sprained wrists, slipped dicks, or compressed dicks. The discs.
We're getting comments from Captain Carnage. We're getting comments from Kami Warhead.
Condiments. Back to the ketchup.
Back to the ketchup once again.
Killer tomato.
And some gratuitous boob shots once again because it's an R-rated movie.
Wet boobs shaking.
Wet boobs, my favorite type of boobs.
Now, the actual event, you know what I like about that over Body Slam? They have more than one match. Like, the women's match was on there, that was happening.
And it's a preliminary bout. I love how they just basically set it up.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was a
It's a preliminary bout.
yeah. They set it up
Uh-huh.
early in the they had the battle royal as the main event, of course, and then they need a rest of a card, so they put out there. It was Charlie Haynes, who I immediately recognized. She wrestled as the Golden Cat, Charlie Haynes, and in Glow she was wrestled as Salt, as the tag team of Salt and Pepper with Pepper. Also, yeah, and also Queen Kong, who she wrestled in that match, was Debut her on a roller derby show, and also she was Matilda the Hun on Glow.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah.
all right.
So they're both Glow girls trained by Mondo, so I'm sure that's how they got in there.
And I do agree with you that, again, I feel like the GWA, which I guess we kind of said to ourselves was the Global Wrestling Alliance.
Association.
Association
whatever.
Alliance.
Whatever you want.
But I just like how it feels very lived in. We are met very just an array, an assortment of characters. These wrestlers, the Grunt brothers. We're getting Kami Warhead. We getting the women's wrestlers in the preliminary bouts.
Also,
I just like how it feels real.
But yet they can't find an announcer that they can pay and that likes their job.
Also,
And they can allow a dead man to be champion for 6 years.
6 years.
Also, Buddha Khan, Pistol Pete Marquez, and referee Jesse Hernandez all appeared in both Body Slam and Grunt.
Oh,
So
alright.
I like to think they're in the same universe.
Yeah, I will definitely agree with you that they're in the same universe.
Only 4 years afterwards, because Body Slam was delayed.
Well, the best
so
thing is
long.
that even though there was a dead man as heavyweight champion for 6 years, we also got to know that El Toro was the Georgia state champion.
Yes.
I love how the GWA is a thing. There are news updates. There are multiple
maybe
announcers.
GWA stands for Georgia Wrestling Association.
Oh.
But then the GWA is in Los Angeles for the Battle Royal.
Now my question is, if they were going to announce this battle royal, why do it on a press conference and not do it on the Vic Carson show?
Maybe
We're
they
mixing,
couldn't
we're
get
mixing
on
things up here.
Vic Carson was booked solid.
He's the #1
He does.
late night show on television.
Well, now we're making this up in our heads that it's in the same universe. We like to think it's the same universe. But again, I'd like to think Vic Carson was just booked solid.
I guess that's fair.
So after the preliminary bout, it is time for the main event of the evening. The Battle Royal Elimination Match.
I'm sorry, but during the women's match, we're skipping over the Adrian Street song. She's a big woman for her
Yes.
age.
Oh.
She's 6'3". She's a big woman for her age.
Oh my
This
god.
What does that mean?
The song features at least 3 or 4 Adrian Street songs on the soundtrack.
The whole
This
movie.
soundtrack is amazing.
It's all
Again,
Adrian Street.
Glowing, body slam, out of the water.
Yep.
I was almost nervous to watch this because I'm like, Body Slam was one of my favorites.
Mikey, what did you say as far as you said?
I didn't, and I mentioned this earlier, I didn't think that we were going to have great music. I didn't think anything was going to beat American Way by Kicks.
You grossly underestimated
Underestimated everything in this movie. I loved this movie.
the Adrian Street songs, Sha Na Na.
Sha Na Na.
The soundtrack is amazing, which again just adds to the entire movie, this documentary, everything about it. It's just great.
So, Big Battle Royal.
We get to the Battle Royal.
Featuring actual wrestlers like Danny Spivey wrestling as the American Starship Eagle. Also, Sadistic Steve DeSalvo's in there. And then you have The Mask, Adrian Street.
Mm-hmm.
You have Kami Warhead, you have Captain Caveman Carnage.
Not Captain Caveman.
But I'll tell you, in that match, Captain Carnage bled like a walnut.
A bleeding
Looked
walnut.
like a bloody walnut.
Bloody walnut.
Is that racist?
Yes, it's very racist. It's 1985. Like, it is just, they are just throwing it out there.
Also, the match starts off Adrian Street jumping into Dan Spivey's arms and kissing
him, yes. Now, this Battle Royal isn't like your typical Battle Royal where you just get thrown over the top rope and you're eliminated. You can be pinned, and you can be thrown out of the ring through any rope and still be eliminated.
Yes, it's not quite Ox Baker Memorial Cup rules, but it is definitely... Everybody knows Ox Baker Memorial Cup rules. Come on, Lumberjake, come on.
Unfortunately, fallen victim to the pin stipulation was the fan favorite, the People's Choice, rather.
The People's Choice.
Who was pinned in a giant dog pile by everybody.
By at least 12 of the wrestlers on top.
Dog pile or pig pile?
Well, he
was a pig.
Ham.
And
And then he got stretchered out and then just dumped out of the ring.
the Stretcher had a rough night.
Stretcher had a very rough night. The Stretcher was also in the match.
It's true. And I love the action. It's just Fast and it's Furious. Also the Fast and the Furious.
The final four in the ring: Adrian Street, Kami Warhead,
The
the Mask, and Captain Carnage.
And again, I love how it's built up because Lola's out there. She's
In the
managing
crowd.
Kami.
Oh, right.
No,
She was managing
managing
Captain
Carnage.
Carnage. In a big turn. Nobody saw that coming.
And she was just resentful over everything,
Yeah.
and I feel like maybe
She thought the
her
Mask was Joe DiCurso.
well, because the interactions with Leslie Uggams and Dr. Tweed maybe kind of planted that into her head, almost like Inception, to say, well, maybe he is Mad Dog.
Mm-hmm.
So, further the speculation, the final two in the match is the Mask and Captain Carnage, who gets hung up in the ropes.
Oh boy.
Oh my God! And we were all, I'm going to tell you, we watched this together, we were all on the edge of the couch.
And I know we all thought it was Joe DiCurso right there.
Well, it was like, when you're setting it up like that, and you have that moment where
He was hitting the ropes back and forth.
the fans,
Slow motion.
you look, and
He hit those ropes back and forth.
and then,
then-
smash cut.
Lights
Silence.
go out.
Lights are flickering on and
For
off.
some reason.
And now it's just raining,
This
downpouring inside the
giant
building.
door opens up in the arena.
and it's on a motorcycle, and it's Mad Dog Joe DiCurso.
Mad Dog!
And it starts raining in the building.
It is raining in the building. He is on a motorcycle.
He flies down that entranceway. I was afraid for him. He was going so
No
fast.
helmet or anything.
Nothing.
But like everybody,
Looking like Magnum TA.
Dr. Tweed freaking out.
Dr.
Lola
Passing
freaking
out.
Dr. Tweed fainted.
Passed out.
Lola couldn't believe it. She looked like she could believe it. She was kind of incredulous in the face.
All 6 years of pent-up hatred just faded away from Lola in one fell swoop.
And she's like, man, I really picked the wrong time to cheat on him with Captain Carnage.
She goes, I am raining too, from the vagina.
But he rides his motorcycle down just as the Mask is about to drop kick Captain
And
Carnage's head off.
decapitate him.
And he
But-
jumps out like taking a bullet and eats the drop kick.
Yep.
Captain Carnage starts beating on him with the longest chain in the world somehow. He pulled it out like a magician.
He pulled it out from like the guardrail, and then it was like 20 feet
kept
long.
coming on. And eventually...
It's like that scene in Pee Wee Herman.
He just keeps coming out with the chain for the bike.
clown.
So, I mean, wow. Like, just at this point, we've been brought to believe that maybe the Mask was Joe DiCurso, that he was going down this dark path despite everything that happened to him, and this, basically the Mask went full heel here.
Yes, absolutely.
And he was going to fucking kill.
He was going to kill Captain Carnage, and he was looking like he was going to kill DiCurso, who was all bloodied up.
Oh, well, they tried. John Tolos and the Mask did everything in their power to kill these men.
So, Joe DiCurso was never a good guy then.
Joe DiCurso was a villain against Skull Crusher Johnson. That's what I believed. And
Okay.
I believed that he was a villain in the wrestling world.
And then the Mask was
pretending and using all the notoriety that,
Right.
that
but he was a hero, though.
He was a hero, but he wasn't the real Joe DiCurso, so
he was using the fame of what happened. He
didn't
using
have the personal...
right.
Like, he didn't have the personal gumption of a DiCurso.
And here's what I think. I think that Joe DiCurso saw what the Mask was doing, and I think that he was still down on his luck. We knew he was homeless based on the documentary footage.
Out of work?
Out of
hope.
worth.
Out of worth, yeah.
worth. Oh,
You're
yeah.
right.
No. Yeah. I guess I was right.
Yeah, you were right.
I'm not
I
going
said
to
that.
apologize to you.
No,
Fuck
I
you,
didn't
Jake.
say.
Fuck you.
I didn't say.
All right, guys. All right.
Oh, no, it's fine. I really... Ow! Oh.
Why would you do that?
I'm sorry. He pushed me like a young mad dog.
My
Mad Dog
talking
Joe
mouth. So what I'm thinking is that he's seeing this happening. He's seeing the fame and fortune that the Mask is garnering, the beautiful women, the dog with the mask. He's seeing all this, but he's seeing the dark path this man is going down. He's being seduced by the dark side, which was true when he walked out on his manager to join the Greek god John Tolos.
Well, he was a bad guy then too.
But what I'm saying is that
But when Joe DeCurso they went to see his old manager in the wheelchair,
JJJ.
yes, they were saying that he even then he was like, listen, he's a bastard, he's a son of a bitch, but he's a good guy.
He was a good guy that kind of pushed that goodness away.
Yeah.
He turned his back on it when he joined Lola, and when he became... He kind of just got caught up in it, but while he was on the outs and while he was seeing that the mask was following these parallels, he couldn't take it anymore.
Did Mad Dog ever have one single line in this movie?
No.
He never said one word.
No.
Neither did the mask, which again led to the idea that they were the same person. And... when we saw him ride in the rain on his motorcycle, it is the redemption, the true
What a moment.
redemption of Mad Dog Joe
So
DeCurso.
would you consider Mad Dog Joe DeCurso the lead in this movie?
I think his spirit was the lead.
So
of this
the
movie.
lead in this movie didn't say one line.
The lead of the movie
Does
is
that
Leslie
happen?
Uggams.
Or Dr. Tweed.
Ooh, Dr. Tweed.
Dr. Tweed.
Well, oh no, Leslie Uggams is the
Tweed
lead.
medicine woman.
Dr. Tweed is the supporting actor to... You see, okay, I think
Who
that
gets the Oscar?
Mad Dog Joe DeCurso is an idea. He is bigger than just this movie, and while the movie is about this thing, this thing that's in the ether.
Getting so deep.
Because I love this fucking movie.
And then, and then they unmask the mask, and it's just some guy.
It's just some guy. Which again leads you to the idea that it's just the idea.
Yep.
It's just it's more than you. It's more than just me. It's more than Dr. Tweed, president of this fan club. No, it's just more than that. It's the idea of something, and that idea.
The mask wasn't anything special. He wasn't a superhero. He was just some guy.
He tried to transcend it on his own and use the mask as a symbol, but you can't.
But
And
there
Mad
was a
Dog
picture of Joe DeCurso as a kid wearing a mask for some reason.
which again, which all led to the conspiracy.
Right. Guys, I love this movie.
I love this movie.
This movie is way better than Body Slam.
Way better than Body Slam.
Fuck Body Slam.
There.
Fuck you, Dirk Benedict.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, M. Harry Smilac.
Fuck you, you piece of shit, Smilac motherfucker.
Fucking Quick
All right.
Rick. Fucking
Fuck you.
shit.
Captain
All right.
Lou, I hope you fucking die.
But he's already dead.
What?
I didn't know he was sick.
So, I mean, we're giving it the full Monty.
Yes. 100%.
100 thumbs up.
100 thumbs up.
100 thumbs right up Body Slam's butt.
Yeah.
Oh, this was fun, guys. We had some we had some comments and some criticism,
Hopefully.
constructive.
We had
that
a lot of feedback. I didn't get to read our mailbag this episode,
Okay.
but we did get a lot of constructive criticism, and we're continuing to evolve. We're continuing to just get better.
and we need your help to get better.
And there's only one way you can do that, because
Write to us at Zoom, P.O. Box.
Zoom.
Zoom, yeah.
we're on Hoobazoo.
Oh, my.
What did you
That's
think?
right.
Zoom on PBS. That's not us?
So let's break it down real quick.
Yep.
So we have Sunday nights at 11 p.m. on Hoobazoo.com.
That's right.
Thanks to the booth and thanks to the amazing Keith Hayes.
That's right.
We have threewaytheater.com, our home, our hub, where basically you can go and you can get everything you could possibly need.
That's
Literally every single episode.
Also, don't.
all
Yes.
all the catalog that the Three-Way Theater provides.
You can go all the way back.
You can
all the way
watch-
back to episode 1.
Yeah, you can watch all 3 hours.
From episode 1 and from now and everything in between.
Right.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook. Watch
Three-Way
us on
Theater.
YouTube.
Don't take our name on Instagram. We haven't made
Don't
that
make
yet.
that yet, because we are also on Twitter at Three-Way Theater. I'm just saying, there's so many ways you can find us. Find us on Boomerang. Find us on Grindr. Find us on
Bumble.
Yelp. If you want to Yelp us.
I mean,
Don't leave any negative comments, though. Negative reviews, please.
constructive criticism is one
Yes,
thing. but don't be
constructive
mean.
criticism only.
No short jokes about Mike Pava.
Lumberjake is very sensitive.
Yeah.
He's very sensitive about the short jokes about Mike Pava.
Yeah.
So, guys-
don't do that.
I know we had said that we were going to do Slammed next as the third episode,
Yeah.
but moments before we started this podcast, I think there's no doubt that we have to forego Slammed for another
another-
episode.
We're pushing Slammed back.
Pushing Slammed back for
Russell Madness.
Russell
No, WrestleMania.
Madness.
Oh,
No,
Madness?
Russell Madness, the
WrestleMania will get you sued.
Air Bud wrestling movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's
You know,
not,
Air Bud-
not starring Air Bud, for the record.
Right, it's a different dog.
He looks more like Wishbone.
He's a Jack Russell Terrier, which is why it's
Jack Russell.
Russell Madness. Yes.
Yeah, he's wrestling as Lumberjack Russell.
And the greatest villain in wrestling history might be presented in Russell Madness.
John Ratzenberger.
I thought you were gonna say the other John.
Who?
Johnny Mundo.
Johnny Mundo.
That's right.
Bailey Thornhill's favorite wrestler, John Morrison himself, Johnny Mundo.
Wrestles against this small Jack Russell Terrier.
Yes.
So that's gonna be episode 3.
Yes.
I'm down.
All right.
All right.
We got this.
Well,
So episode 2 is in the books. How do you
Episode-
feel, guys?
I feel pretty good.
Feeling good. Feeling
I'm
good.
sweating a lot.
You
but
are
I
very
feel-
sweaty
I
right
need
now.
to eat something. I'm having a diabetic attack.
Great.
Oh, good.
We need to go.
I didn't really eat today. I had
No.
some donuts. I had some Mary Lou's coffee. But I loved this episode. I loved
Love
this
this
movie.
movie.
I love you guys.
Aw.
Oh, I love you, man. Let's
I
do
lo-
that movie next.
All right.
All right. Forget about Russell
Coming up
Madness.
next on our Paul Rudd podcast, I Love You Man, starring Jason Segel and Paul Rudd.
I'd rather it star a real seagull.
All right.
Shots fired against Jason Segel, guys.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
I'm Mike Pava,
I'm Lumberjake.
I'm JC.
and you've been listening to
Three-Way Theater.
Captain Carnage, Dr.
Mad about you,
the Mask,
baby.
Miss Linda and Adrian Street, the Human Bomb Shelter, Jake the Snake, ask Mad Dog DeCurso if it's real or fake. Golden Greek told us the giant goon Dickoff, El Toro, the Grunt brothers too. The wild Samoans got something crazy going. They're gonna be going after you. Wrestling tonight. Everything is bigger than life. Wrestling tonight. Rock and roll and wrestling tonight. Flying drop kick, suplex, mail, stomping on the throat, pulling on the hair. Big gift all scissors, back break the knee, down for the count, and it's a 1, 2, 3. Interview time between each match. Stay tuned, can't tell who you might catch. Why look what dropped in, just to say howdy. It's a Dickie Murdoch and it's gonna get rowdy. Yeah, you kids, you think you're so beautiful, narcissizing every day, popping up. Look at this neck, look at my pecs, look at my shoulders, look at my head. Gorgeous Joe, woo! A Freddie Blassie, also classy. Set the stage for the current rages. Wrestling tonight. Everything is bigger than life. Wrestling tonight. Rock and roll and wrestling tonight. Rock and roll. Wrestling tonight. Everything is bigger than life. And it's a wrestling tonight. Rock and rollin' wrestling.
Wrestling is the greatest sport in America, and America's the greatest country in the world, and I'm proud to be an American. Oh, beautiful.
Wrestling tonight. Rock and rollin' wrestling tonight.